I know, Jeff. It's on my list.
Yeah, if they're redoing this
It's on my
whole
list.
setup, then maybe we can get them. Make it so I can't reach
Remind
Jeff's.
your grandkids to have their activities.
Do.
That's like the hardest part about it all.
Plus I'm on
Self-video
dog
is
duty
much
too,
different
and
than
that is 4 times a day.
selective.
What kind of dog?
You can
is
do
it?
that on Teams.
Just little,
You know,
2
Okay.
little
I
dogs.
do it all the time.
I like them though, and they like me. Okay, it's 5 o'clock and we're gonna bring the November 25th City Council meeting to order, and we will begin with roll call, please.
Sarchet,
Here.
Savage.
Here.
Walters.
Here.
Vogel. Here. Otis.
Motion and a second to approve the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Roll call.
Walters.
Yes.
Vogel. Yes. Otis. Sarchet.
Yes.
Savage.
Yes.
Item 4 is a public hearing, a resolution 2024-151, rescheduling public hearing on the transfer of interest in real property to Central Iowa Water Works, also known as CIWW, to December 9th, 2024 at 6 p.m. I'll have a motion and a second, please.
So moved.
Second.
And roll call. Is there any comment from council? Roll call.
Vogel. Yes. Otis.
Yes.
Sarchet.
Yes.
Savage.
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Public comment period. This is the time and place for comments for any item other than those that are a public hearing. Jenny, did anyone wish to speak?
No, sir.
Anyone in the audience who wishes to speak at this time? Then we'll move on to item number 6, consent items. A motion and a second, please, and then any discussion.
So moved. Second.
Anything? We'll roll call then.
Savage.
Yes.
Walters.
Yes.
Vogel. Yes. Otis.
Yes.
Sarchet.
Item number 7, business item A, resolution 2024-154, approving Schleif plat of survey for an area of land to be known as parcel number 2024-125, parcel 2024-126, and parcel 2024-127, located at 1716 East Northside Drive. Travis, we'll begin with you.
So as the mayor so eloquently described there, in front of, or for council's consideration tonight is a plat of survey subdividing an existing parcel of land into 3 separate parcels. Parcel 2024-125 and parcel 2024-127 are being platted as undevelopable parcels or plots of land. For our understanding, it's the purpose of being sold to 2 separate potential developers, with parcel 2024-126 being established to contain the existing Schleif homestead, as well as a few outbuildings. And then as part of the plat of survey process, we're going to get a temporary usage easement and agreement that essentially dictates the continued use of some existing outbuildings and accessory structures for the benefit of parcel 2024-126 that are located on parcel 2024-127. This plat of survey reflects or is in general conformance and reflects the lot layout that was shown on the preliminary plat for Sunrise Ridge, which this council acted on earlier this year. And the purpose of the plat of survey versus a plat of subdivision it's our understanding that this plat of survey is strictly for the purposes of selling plots of land that would otherwise could not be sold separately based on Polk County regulation. Each of the parcels, if they were to be further subdivided or otherwise altered in any manner, would require a plat of subdivision that conforms with Polk City subdivision regulations and ordinances. And your approval tonight includes a waiver of the requirement of a plat of subdivision for more than 2 tracts of land. Along with the approval are several subject tos, including the provision and acceptance of easement documents and agreements as illustrated in our staff memo, as reviewed and approved by the city attorney and city engineer. Payment of all fees through the review and preparation of those documents, as well as any other cleanup comments that are necessary in order to make the plat of survey as presented to the council match and otherwise adhere to those agreements and those easements. The developer and the developer's engineer are here if you have any specific questions about the purpose or anything like that, or if there's any other questions that I can answer, I'd be more than happy to do so.
Any questions of Travis?
I'm good with what they want to do. One thing I thought of, and I didn't get a chance to go out there today, I'm struggling to envision how far this goes past where the construction is now. So how close are we to the city limits?
So essentially, back in, I can't remember which, well, I don't think I put it in here, but this was annexed as part of those 4 parcels that came in along Northside Drive. This is the 3rd one.
Okay.
So if you know where the existing home that Monarch Crossing was built around, it's the
Think
Brill
so.
property.
Yep.
Their eastern property line is this western property line.
Okay,
So it's the 3rd of 4 parcels east of the cemetery.
okay. So no impacts to the east from a development or progression standpoint to.
No, essentially, this action has nothing to do with the development, it's purely the sale. When Sunrise Ridge comes in and constructs, they'll be required to take the existing sewer that's been extended as part of Big Creek Ridge and Monarch Crossing, and they'll have to extend it to their eastern property line so that the stone property to the east can be developed on that same line. And we have the capacity and functionality to do that.
Anybody else?
Make a motion to approve resolution 2024-154.
Oh, so before we do that, did the developer have anything to say? We're good. Okay, go ahead. So we have a motion from Rob. Second,
Second.
roll call?
Vogel? Yes. Otis?
Yes.
Sarchet?
Yes.
Savage?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Moving on to B, second reading of ordinance 2024-2400, state income set-off program. Motion and a second, please.
So moved. Second.
And roll call?
Otis?
Yes.
Sarchet?
Yes.
Savage?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Vogel? Yes.
So B1 is optional, waive third reading of the ordinance. Do I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Savage?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Vogel? Yes. Otis?
Yes.
Sarchet?
Yes.
Item C, second reading of ordinance 2024-2300A, adding chapter 102, stormwater. A motion and a second, please.
So moved. Second.
Anything from the council? Roll call?
Otis?
Yes.
Sarchet?
Yes.
Savage?
Yes.
Walters?
Yes.
Vogel? Yes.
Then item D, third reading of ordinance 2024-2300B, amending chapter 103, stormwater utility. A motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call?
Walters?
Yes.
Vogel? Yes. Otis?
Yes.
Sarchet?
No.
Savage?
Yes.
Moving on to item 8, reports and particulars. We'll begin with staff. Anything from staff? How about you, Chelsea?
I have nothing, thank you.
How about the council?
I'll just mention, we had Sally Dix and Jesse Coleman from Bravo come and meet with Chelsea and I and the Big Creek Historical Society last Friday. I know some of these regional things, we assess what's the value to our community. Sometimes it comes back dollar for dollar as grants, but sometimes it's guidance and assistance. So they helped talk through some of their grant programs specifically with the Big Creek Historical Society and also provided a wealth of additional resources for them. So I just wanted to publicly thank them for coming up here last Friday and just again to the council. I know, like I said, as we look at these regional things that we're a part of, what the value is. So I thought that was of great value to our community.
Okay, then, anybody else from the council?
Yeah, I've got a couple things. So the first one, stemming from conversations with Stacy, Go Polk City a month or two ago, which I think other folks up here sat down with her. I kind of talked to some developers and came to a little bit of a realization or aha that maybe things weren't going as smoothly from a development plat approval standpoint. So she had offered to, on behalf of Go Polk City, put together a survey, just kind of talking about the experience and good or bad, and maybe going back to developments and different properties that have gone through that process within the last couple of years, to get some feedback, wherever it leads, quite honestly, and I think is just good, economic development practice to see how we stack up. If there is opportunities, I did some checking on, some options to go from there, but don't want to be, presumptuous until, we get that. She put together a lot of questions and I think was, sort of just needing some names to send it out. And I don't know what that looks like to come back to us from a timeline standpoint, but again, I think is a good thing to, be cognizant of and be reactionary to. And the second thing was, so I listened to, and watched a little bit of the P and Z meeting, but mostly listened, and I think there was a really good discussion around some of the traffic impacts to the comprehensive study work that they talked about. And Ron Hankins in particular, articulated far better than I have in a number of instances, some of the struggles that he was having with just, I think we've got an issue where we're addressing specific traffic concerns and not looking at the larger picture. And he used the example of how can we better identify and give options to pass through traffic. People that are just going through town, not looking to stop here, not looking to do anything. I do want to make sure that we're not, doing too much of that from an economic, commercial economic standpoint, but I also think that we do have a traffic problem and could be better addressed more holistically rather than looking to add lanes and looking to put stoplights in certain spots. So I don't know what that looks like, but I did just really appreciate that group taking that stance. And I think, to be fair to staff, we need to have probably a discussion, a collaborative work session with them to see what options there are, because maybe there aren't, I'm guessing there's not the silver bullet where we can take a good chunk of those people that are driving, from point A to point B, and Polk City just happens to be in the middle of it and causing some of our congestion concerns. But I have to believe that there are more things that we can do. So just really appreciated their perspective and stance on some of the history, especially that Ron, I sat next to Ron when I joined P and Z however many years ago that was, so I'm probably a little biased towards him, but other folks with history and perspective kind of making that point and playing the long game. So just wanted to call that out.
Anyone else? I don't have anything to add, so we'll move to item 9, which is adjournment, and I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. We're adjourned till December 9th. Thanks, everybody.